I was in the gym earlier today, and there's this kid. He had asked me like, "What do you do for a living?" And I was kind of like reluctant to respond initially. And what I responded with was, and it's a revelation that like kind of like it hit home for me recently as well. 90% of where you are currently, especially in a financial circumstance, is due to your habits, which is your character, skills, and your beliefs. So your character, skills, and your beliefs. Your skills is the easiest of the three to learn. You could go get the book, read the step-by-step guide, get the deploy to purpose PDF and learn exactly what you need to do and apply to your business or your career to be able to be successful. But then you also have your character. I believe Gandhi said it. Your ideas turn into your actions turn into your habits, and your habits turn into your character. So by doing the very things every single day, practicing your skills every single day, you're actually transforming your very character, right? So then you also have your beliefs. Your beliefs is your program or your subconscious and conscious mind. It's like what you're thinking about every single day. Like, do you truly have faith in you becoming successful? Like, that's your belief. Like, having real faith that you could make it happen. And those three components make up you. So 90% of where you are right now is due to you and what you're doing every single day to build those three components of your life. And they're all step-by-step frameworks that you could start applying now, today, to be able to change your very circumstances. The last 10% you're probably wondering is the vehicle. And that's what everyone asks. Like, what do you do for a living? Okay, I'm in tech. I do real estate. I do Airbnb. I do Turo. I got a marketing design business, or whatever it is that you do, or wherever you do it. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, that 10%, it doesn't really matter, because it matters about the 90%. Like, who are you is the question. So if we're able to build the 90%, it doesn't matter the vehicle. You're going to be successful. If you find any vehicle, real estate, drop shipping, what else? Affiliate marketing, everything that you could put a business and make money from, you're going to find a millionaire there. You're going to find a billionaire. Any niche, any industry, you're going to find someone making money there. But it's not about the vehicle, it's about the person. And that's most important, because that's going to get you where you need to go. Because you apply this mindset to any business, you're going to be successful. You're going to wake up every day and do what you have to do, even when you don't want to do it, and you're going to get to where you need to go. Like, that's the most important foundation that you need to have. Everything else, it doesn't matter. Like, the opportunity is going to be there, because you're going to be able to see the opportunity. Your mindset is going to be plowed, ready for the seeds to harvest a great fruit, a great abundance. We also were talking, and I learned some personal things about him, which was interesting. And I asked him, what about you? Like, are you where you are? Like, are you where you at? Are you where you want to be currently? And he said, like, no. I said, okay. I mean, obviously, I'm not either. Like, I'm still going too. Like, regardless of whatever success I make, I'm never gonna get comfortable. But I asked him, I was like, hey, do you think that you operate at least 80% of your capacity at this very moment? At least 80%. And he started scratching. He's like, he said, if I'm being real, nah, like no, because I seen like what the top performers and what they're doing, and I'm not as consistent as these other high performance athletes, because he's a soccer player and he's playing actually at a pretty decent level. So I was like, okay, so are you operating at 50%? He said, he actually said that. He said, I'm operating at 50%, maybe like 40 or 50%, I think, perhaps. And I said, if you're not being consistent, then how are you operating at 50%? Because 50% is just showing up. That's 50%. You ever heard coach say, yo, you half-assing it right now. That's 50%. You just showed up. Now you just going through the motions. So that's 50%. So I don't even think you operate at 50%. You operate at 30%. Now, I'm not just saying that to like put you down. I'm just saying that because you could do so much better. We could do so much better. I know I could do better than what I'm doing right now. I know I'm not operating at my 100% capacity, but I'm striving for that 100%. I'm going to get there. So every day I'm trying to get 1% better. And I'm going to get to that 100%. And you going to know. You're going to know when that person is operating at 100%. I was like, I know you're not operating at least 50% because, or like 60, 80%, because if you were operating at that level, then we wouldn't even be talking in the gym right now. Like, it'd be like, bro, I got to hit this set. 15 seconds. I got to be pulling up on the pull-up bar. I got to be doing my jump squats. So you're not even operating at 50%. So I'm going to ask you, like, are you operating at least 50%? Are you just showing up? That's 50%. And then after that, what you do in the gym or at your desk or in the workplace is above that 50%, optimizing, getting better, getting to that high performer status that you're trying to get to. And I asked him, like, I come from poverty. Like, my family, they lived check to check, all the circumstances against me. My mom had me at 14 years old, never knew my father. All these things in my life. Lived in New York in poverty, living check to check, shelter, all this other stuff, crazy, whatever. All these odds stacked against me, right? But I knew that if I'm able to change myself and operate at my fullest potential, then I will be able to change the circumstances of not only my life, but those around me. And he understood that too as well. So, there was a little tangent conversation about, sometimes when he's operating at his, a higher capacity, he feels like he's being selfish. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, when you're operating at this high performance level, then you got to say no to a lot of people, and people are thinking like, oh, you're kind of mean, or you gotta let them down, and not do certain things. You gotta cut out a lot of things in your life. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's very true. But let me tell you this: if you was a millionaire, let me ask you a question. If you were a millionaire, would you buy your mom a house? Or make sure she was not ever put in a financial unstable position? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, okay. So what if you had a friend that came up to you and said, hey, I need you to help me, like, pay my rent. Or I need to do this because I'm in a hole, like I'm going to prison. I need some bond money. And you couldn't even get them out. So by you not being successful or in a position where you're able to give and not sacrifice your life, your own stability, you're selfish. I'm going to tell you that you're selfish. Because by you being successful and being where you need to go and having the abundance to give and overflow, that is selfless. By you sacrificing this couple years to say no to the parties or no to hanging out, or hey, I can't, brother, I know you're going through this emotional circumstances, I got to sacrifice a couple years of my life to focus on what I need to focus on, then that's what you got to do. So you're able to operate from an overflow. If I have a cup, I don't have a cup, but if I had a cup and it was filled or halfway filled, I'm like, okay, here's some water, here's some water, here's some water. Guess what? What happens? It's gonna be empty. So then now when I'm trying to drink, I can't even quench my thirst. I can't even quench my thirst. Right? So I'm not helping you, I'm not helping myself, because we both have empty cups. So what we doing? So you need to fill your cup up. Fill it. Fill your cup up to an overflow. And then at that point, that's what you give. That overflow. You give all that overflow to others. And that's going to be a greater blessing. Even greater blessing. Because now you have to worry about giving and all this other stuff. You still want to give. You still want to serve, help others. But, you know, the richest man of Babylon even said, like, when you make money, you make income, you save 10% for yourself. Right? You save 10% for yourself. And the Bible also says you give 10%. So you got to be able to be a good steward. So that doesn't mean don't give. Still give. Because you want to have an abundance mindset, but not to the point where you're giving everything. Sacrificing your livelihood and what you have going on in your life for another person's, you know, well-being, like another person's wrongdoings is better to say, because at the end of the day, they had the map. You probably even told them, like, yo, don't go that way. Don't even do that, bro. Don't talk to that girl. Like, don't even go that way. So many times I'm like, yo, I told you so. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm over here. I gotta help you now, and I told you not to do it already. That's crazy. Cause you give the people the step-by-step book, but they're not gonna listen to you, bro. You're not driving a Lamborghini. You're not living in a 10-bedroom home, you know, with a jet and all this other stuff. So why would they listen to you? You probably have some really good ideas. I bet you do. I know you do. If you're watching this video, you have some phenomenal ideas, but they're not gonna listen to you until they see it in your life. And that's something that kind of like was a scarcity mindset for me, because I'm like, yo, why should I even come out on this video and say anything? Because materialistically, I'm not like truly where I want to be. But that's a false belief. So that's why the 90% is so important, because sometimes it makes us procrastinate and holds us back from our very dreams and our livelihood, because our profits are in our purpose. If we're not in our purpose, then we're sacrificing those future profits. So that's the key. It's a key to your positioning within your purpose is to focus on those habits, which is your character, the skills. What skills do you need to be successful in that business or that trade or whatever it is that you need to do? And your belief system. You need to reprogram yourself, unbrainwash yourself from all of these false beliefs that we grew up with. Oh, I'm poor, or, this is expensive, and nah, stop all that stuff. I'm gonna ask you, like, is a millionaire talking about, yo, this is expensive? No, it's not. So stop saying that. So just, you gotta continuously grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. So just 1% better every single day, and you're gonna be able to live your life by design. I truly believe that. But yeah, my name is Alec. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and I look forward to making more videos and talking more business success, mindset, entrepreneurship, even tech, whatever it is. If you have any questions, please reach out. Always here to answer your questions, and I'm excited to see you be successful on your journey. I want to hear all about it too. Talk soon.